Welcome to the Andrea Bryant Show. Sit back, relax, buckle up, and enjoy the Andrea Bryant Show. Welcome to the Andrea Bryant Show. Today, we have a very, very special guest. I do mean very special. This guest is my ride or die. This guest is my best friend. This guest, y'all, is the wind beneath my wings. Everybody, let's welcome my husband, Wayne Bryant, to the Andrea Bryant Show.
Good morning, everyone. Great to be here.
Well, listen, thank you so much for gracing the Andrea Bryant Show. Just coming on. I'm really nervous today, and I don't even know why I live with you, for God's sake.
I'm sure.
Y'all, I've been hyperventilating before the show even started. Wayne, can you tell the viewers a little bit about yourself?
Well, everyone, I am from a small town in southwest Georgia called Americus, Georgia. I'm from a pretty large family of 10, 2 parents, 8 children. I joined the Army straight out of high school. I did 8 years in the Army, and I have been a proposal manager for Nokia for the last 25 years.
Wow, 25 years?
Yes.
First of all, let me go back. Let me roll it back. Thank you so much for your service.
You're welcome.
Now, let's go back to 25 years.
Okay.
That's a long time to be at one job.
Yeah.
You did good, baby. You did good.
Yeah, I'm proud to say I've only had 2 W-2 paying jobs in the last 52 years. 8 years in the Army and 25 years with Nokia.
Yeah, I ain't gonna tell y'all how many W-2s I've had. we want him. This show is not about me. So let's continue with you. So Wayne, tell the viewers what made you go to the Army. Why did you decide to go to the Army? Why not the Marines? Why not the Navy or the Air Force? What made you join the Army?
Well, I had family members that had been in the Army, and that's really the only branch of the military that I had ever really researched and focused on. And that was it. And, speaking with my uncle and my brother-in-law who was in the Army at the time, and he just told me a lot of great things about the Army, and I was like, okay, I'm sold.
So you went straight in.
Yeah.
Now, Wayne, I think you were 17 when
Yes.
you went in the Army. How did that work as far as you being 17? Because you're supposed to be 18, right?
Well, I was 17 when I graduated high school.
Lucky you.
And you have to be 18 in order for you to go into the military on your own. If you're 17, you have to get the signature or approval from your parents.
Oh, so you had to get the approval from Mr. and Mrs. Bryant?
Yes.
Number one, Mrs. Bryant, how did that go over?
It wasn't a pleasant conversation at all. She was dead set against it.
Okay.
She wanted me to either go to college or go to technical school, but under the circumstances, neither one of my parents was able to afford to send me to either college or technical school.
Okay.
And I did good in school, but I didn't get good enough grades to get a scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
So the Army was my way to propel myself in life.
Awesome. That's wonderful, because the military does afford individuals an amazing career.
Yes.
What I understand. I mean, I'm from a military background as well.
Mm-hmm.
We won't go into the Marines, y'all. My daddy did 23 and a half years in the Marines and retired. So thank you, Daddy, for your service if you're watching. As a matter of fact, thank you everybody that's been in any branch of military. Thank you all for your service. So Wayne, tell me, what would you tell a young person today that's thinking about a career in the military? What would you tell them?
Well, first off, I would say do your research on every branch of the military.
Okay.
See which one has more of what you're looking for as a career. pretty much it. Just do your research. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, Space Force, Coast Guard. Do your research, because each branch has they're a little bit different. You know, the Air Force and the Navy, their jobs are more technical.
Okay.
You use more of your brain. The Army and the Marine Corps, they have technical jobs, but you're going to use a lot of more brawn, muscle in the Marine Corps and in the Army. So it just depends on, what you're looking for. If you decide to get out of the military after X number of years, see which branch will give you the better opportunity to get a high-paying job if you do decide to get out.
Okay, I like that. I like that. So, well, first of all, I heard you say you got to use a little bit of your muscles. Is that where you got your muscles from, handsome?
A little bit.
All right. All right. Well, we'll take that back to the house. So Wayne, tell us what your job in the military was. Do you mind sharing with us?
No, when I initially went, I was a 31 kilo, which was a combat signaler. And when I got to my first duty station, I was reassigned to a new job, which was 31 Delta, which was a transmission systems equipment operator and maintainer. Basically, we were mobile or cell phones before mobile and cell phones became popular.
Oh, wow. So I remember Nokia. Nokia, wasn't it the flip phone?
Yep.
Nokia, the first flip phone. How many of y'all had a Nokia flip phone? I remember Nokia, and I actually like my flip phone. So did you actually, after you got out of the military, how do you think the military set you up for what you do now?
Yes. When I first got out the Army, I started working for a company by the name of Lucent Technologies. Basically, I was pretty much everything that I did in the military transferred to that job because I had to price out the installation, engineering, maintenance, integration of telecommunications equipment. So that was right in my wheelhouse. That's exactly what I did in the military. So I didn't miss a beat.
Okay. So now let me ask you this, or let me ask you this so that you may be able to help someone that's listening. When thinking about going into the military, okay, I know you have to take the ASVAB, correct? And the ASVAB determines what job you get in the military.
Yes.
Do you recommend, people to really get that ASVAB study book and really study for, the ASVAB and
absolutely. The ASVAB is your ticket to getting the best opportunity in the military. So you want to take the ASVAB test as serious as you would take anything else in life. You want to do your best because you want to put yourself in a position where you can choose whatever job you want. You don't want to be relegated to what the military needs at the time. You want to give yourself the opportunity to choose, not them choose for you.
Okay. Oh, I like that. So let me ask you this question, because somebody out there needs some help. If you have an individual that is not a test taker, okay, and they don't do really well on the ASVAB, and they have to take one of the jobs that maybe nobody really wants, but they are needed jobs, and not to say that they're not good jobs, but sometimes people just don't want to do those particular jobs. Can you go in the military, and you have to go into that particular job? Can you, I know that it may be the wrong word used, but transfer over, or can you go, I know you can't, can you take the ASVAB over again, or can you apply for another position?
You can. Now, everyone, take this with a grain of salt. I would highly recommend that you speak with your local recruiter, because this particular information that I'm getting ready to give you is 30 years old, so I don't know if it still applies. But I know when I was in, after you had been in for a while, you could actually request to take the ASVAB again.
Okay.
And if you scored higher, then you could actually choose a new job.
Okay.
Now, as I said, please check if you're thinking about going to the military. Please check with your local recruiter to fact check me on that information because, like I said, that's 30 years old information.
Okay. What about if not saying nothing about the Army now? All
Watch
right.
it, watch it, watch
Watch it, y'all. But however, if I decided that I did not want to be in the Army, or I've done my time,
it.
you know, you sign your 3-4 year contract. Do you have to re-enlist with the Army, or can you go to another branch?
Sure, you can elect to ETS, which is in time and service
Mm-hmm.
from one particular branch, but you would have to go and speak with, if you're thinking about going into the Air Force, the Navy, or the Marines, you would have to go and speak with that recruiter, and then they would have to do the paperwork to get you enlisted into that new branch. Now, you may or may not have to go, well, I'm pretty sure with the Marine Corps, if you switch from the Army to the Marine Corps, you're probably going to have to go through Marine Corps boot camp. You're not going to be able to just go straight from the Army into the Marines. Once again, please, please, please talk with your local recruiter. Fact check this information that I'm giving you because I'm speaking from 30 years of history here. But I believe the Marine Corps, you will probably have to go back through their boot camp.
Okay, that's some great information that you're giving us. Thank you so much. So let's get down to some fun stuff. All right, let me dig a little deeper.
Uh-oh.
All right. What is a fun fact about you?
Fun fact about me is I like to write poetry in my spare time.
All right now.
For me, poetry is therapy for me.
Okay.
It allows me to get my thoughts out if I'm having a not so good day or not so good week or month. It gives me the opportunity to de-stress and get that off of me so I can recharge and keep moving forward.
Awesome, awesome. I know for me, reading a lot is a de-stressor, just a time to take myself away from everything. So and reading poems would be amazing. So hint hint, y'all, can I be expecting a poem soon? All right. Do you want to share a poem with my viewers?
Oh, I knew she was gonna do this.
You know what? Wait a minute. If he knew I was gonna do it, y'all, what I was taught was always stay ready so you won't have to get ready.
Well, you preaching to the choir with that now.
Oh,
You know, I'm always ready.
that's what I'm talking about. Well, let's roll with it then. What you got for us?
Let me see.
I'd love to hear one of your poems.
I've got one here, and I want to relay this poem to the young and old at heart because there are things in life that we have to do, and it's choices.
Mm-hmm.
And the title of this poem is called Choices because whatever you do in life, at some point you're going to have to make a choice. Either you're going to go to the left, you're going to go to the right, or you're going to stand firm. So the title of this poem is called Choices. The choices you make can make or break. The choices you make can give or take. The choices you make can straighten or bend. The choices you make can start or end. The choices you make will determine how and where you live. The choices you make will determine the life you give. So be strategic with your choices and don't be afraid to ask for help because asking for help just might be the greatest choice of them all.
That was phenomenal. That poem that you just read, it resonated with my soul. Okay, because choices determines our path.
Yeah.
Choices determine the road that we take, the journey that we're going to have. And I want to tell somebody out there that when you make a choice, and if by any chance there are obstacles, challenges, all right, sometimes you have to take a detour And seemed like that was in that poem too, just talking, just, putting in my head that sometimes you have to make a detour
It's,
because sometimes the choices that you make may not be, you might not be able to carry it through
right.
right away.
I mean, there are times when you'll make a choice on something, or you'll set a plan, and that plan may not work out the way you've laid it out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay to stop. It's okay to change. It's okay to edit. It's okay to sometimes you say, you know what? Now is not the time. Let me put this on hold and let me go in a completely different direction. Because if you continue to try to go down a path, you're wasting time.
Okay.
So it's okay to say, you know what? Let me pause. Let me stop. I've got to go back to the drawing board and I've got to come up with a new plan.
Yes.
That's perfectly okay.
Oh, Wayne, you getting me ready to preach. Because what I've been told is you are delayed but not denied.
Oh, no doubt.
So this may help somebody. I really hope it does. You are delayed but not denied. You may have to veer off of that track and then get back on the track. All right. Sometimes you have to have an alternate plan.
Mm-hmm.
I know my parents always taught me to have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Indeed. Sometimes you might have to have a plan D.
What you talking about? What you said right there. Sometimes you do, and all you have to do is go back to the drawing board
Mm-hmm.
and figure out, strategically,
Mm-hmm.
and do some methodical thinking,
Mm-hmm.
and figure out how you can actually get back on to the train tracks and be able to accomplish your goal.
Well, one technique that I've used a lot in my life is I like to take a sheet of paper, draw a line down the middle of that sheet of paper.
Okay.
And on one side, you put the pros of your idea. On the other side, you put the cons. And once you make your list, if the pros outweigh the cons, then you've got a pretty good layout. But if the cons outweigh the pros, then you've got to go back and do a little bit more research, a little bit more homework, and say, you know what, I need to change some things because this may not work out in the way I want to. But hey, if you choose to continue to go down your path, and if things don't quite work out, it's okay. That's not the end of the world.
Right.
Just keep pushing forward. Never give up. Don't hang your head. Keep your head up. Keep your shoulders back, and say, hey, you know what? I might have stumbled a little bit here, but I'm gonna regroup. I'm gonna dust myself off, and I'm gonna keep this thing going.
I love it. I love it. Believe in yourself.
That's it.
Believe.
Because if you're not gonna believe in yourself, nobody else will.
Boy, you preaching right now too. Y'all, I hope you are picking up some great, valuable information because Mr. Bryant here is giving out some wonderful gems. I'm so happy that you're sharing with us today. So if you could, if you will, you've given us a lot. I want to, kind of dig down because this might not happen anymore. I got to get all the butter out this duck. Can you give advice if you could give advice to anyone, what would it be?
Wow. Always believe in yourself. Always be willing to ask for help. Never let your pride get in the way.
That part.
Because that pride can keep you from reaching your full potential. And I'm not speaking just from someone just to be speaking. I'm speaking from experience. Because myself and my family, we are a very prideful family.
Yes.
And sometimes we let our pride get in the way because we're like, hey, I'm going to try and figure this thing out on my own. But hey, I know I've got a person over here. They've been there. They've done that.
Yes.
And if I reached out to them, I'm sure they could kind of help guide me and nourish me. But I'm so prideful, I don't want to reach out to them. But never let your pride get in the way of doing the right thing and being the best that you can be.
I love that. Well, and you know what? That is actually that's powerful. Very powerful. My family's very prideful. But there's always one person. There's always that one person, y'all, And that person is me that will step out. Now, I won't let my pride get in my way. You know,
She won't.
I mean, why? If you ask, ye will receive.
They say the squeaky oil gets the wheel.
That's what. Listen, even with growing up, my brother and I have a brother. He's 3 years older than I am. You know my brother.
I do.
We are from two total ends of the spectrum. Okay? He laughing, y'all. I'm trying to figure out what he's laughing about. But we know. We know he's very quiet, and I am very talkative. I'm a people person. He's very quiet. And he will not ask for help. But I will. So I can think of a situation where I went to my dad and my mom and told them I wanted this dress for prom. And my daddy said, "No, ma'am, that costs too much." It costs too much for a queen. Costs too much. So, I laid back and I went and asked again. And when I asked that second time, it might have been the third time, I got it. So don't be afraid to ask, because they can say yes, no. That's it, yes or no. And if they say no, go back a second or third time. That's what I say. But thank you so much.
Welcome.
For coming on this show. I want to tell you in front of the whole world that I love you. I appreciate everything that you do for our family. I am grateful. I am thankful. I mean, how many times do you hear that a person have married their first love, their high school sweetheart? I mean, y'all, our families lived across the street from one another. I married my high school sweetheart, and I just want to tell you that I love you.
And I love you as well, baby. Thank you for all that you do. You have helped me in more ways than you know. So thank you for always being you, always making me realize, hey, brother, you might want to check yourself before you wreck yourself. So thank you, baby.
You are so welcome. And you know what? That brings me to say, y'all, I am an extrovert. For those of you who don't know me, for those of you who know me, know I am an extrovert. My husband is an introvert, a true introvert. Now imagine an extrovert and an introvert being together. He's not a morning person, but I am. So I wake up in the mornings, good morning. And he's looking at me like, baby, give me 5 minutes. Please give me 5 minutes. Now, I will say I had a hard time with that in the beginning, because I was like, why is everybody not happy like I am in the mornings? But I love you so much. Lord have mercy, y'all. Anyway, let me leave you with this. You are the wind beneath my wings. You always have been. Always have been. And everybody that know me know I'm about to sing something.
Oh, Lord.
It's about to be short, sweet, and to the point. Now, I don't own the rights to this little part that I'm about to sing, so I want to say that as well. But thank you, thank God for you, the wind beneath my wings.
Thank you, baby.
You are so welcome.
Well, as they say, a bird can't fly unless there's no wind.
Oh, we're gonna have to cut this off and have an extension to the show or something. But thank you so much for joining.
You're welcome, baby. My pleasure.
Okay, y'all, I hope and I pray that you have learned something today, that you have been able to take one thing away, if not 2, 3, or 4, because I know I have. I mean, I live with this gentleman. And I have taken a lot away today in these 30 minutes. So always remember to believe in yourself, dream big, and remember, if you have a goal, that you have not yet accomplished, if you have obstacles or challenges along the way, first of all, you need to pray about it. Let's just keep it real. You need to pray about what you're going through. You need to wait for God to give you an answer, and you need to trust that He will see you through. Thank you so much for joining us today, and tune in for the next show of the Andrea Bryant Show. Thanks for watching. Tune in to next week's episode, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.